beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, and welcome to another video. I drove the Trans Am for probably the last time today. There's a trailer coming to pick it up on Friday. As I film this, I think it's Wednesday, so the car is leaving on Friday to go up to my buddy Simon in North Dakota. Before it does, Simon was down here a few weeks ago. We picked up some Corvette wheels for the car, and now my buddy Jordan is gonna plasti dip those. We're trying to get about that same blue that the 30th anniversary Trans Am has. So he's working on those. But before we do anything, I'm gonna swap out the Trans Am for the Z, then we'll go check out how the wheels are doing with Jordan, and then I've got some huge mods that we're gonna be putting on the Z today, and I think that'll be kind of today's video. And by huge mods, I might be kind of snaking you. They're actually pretty small, but it'll be fun anyway. That is all for the Trans Am. Goodbye to you. Is this the paint booth?
Oh my gosh, man. The wind's picking up.
Ooh. All right, too windy to spray today. Till tomorrow or the next video, we'll see. Bye, bro.
See ya.
Multiple hours later. Time to get to work. Ah, yeah. All right, one of the things I have planned for the car today is a new Oem Radiator Hose. I don't know if you guys remember when I installed the Add W1 oil catch can or not, but if you look at that video, this hose is not stock, and due to the bend in this non-stock hose, it kind of butts up against the catch can, which pushes it against the coolant overflow. So hopefully the bend in the Oem hose here will be enough to clear the Add W1 oil catch can. So we'll do that first. And actually, while we're at it, I think I'll reroute the catch can hoses up and around this coolant hose. I'm telling you guys, don't lower your car unless you got a good reason to. It's a pain in the butt to get it back up in the air. So we got to start by draining the coolant on the driver's side at the bottom of the radiator. There's this Phillips head screwdriver thing, so we'll just unscrew that and the coolant should start coming out. Dipstick has stuff all over it this time. If you guys are thinking about getting an Add W1 oil catch can, or any catch can for that matter, let me see if I can get it in the light. You definitely want to do it. This thing is like actually pretty full. Let's see, here's my oil pan over here. Check it out. There's a good amount in there. So I think a catch can is worth it. I'll put a link in the description below for this one. It'll get you $5 off if you use it. If you don't, so be it. But I think a catch can might be worth it on a 350Z. And just to give you guys a little idea, I think that was about 2,500 miles. So what you saw me pour into there was 2,500 miles worth of driving in oil that didn't go through the intake manifold and get burned up in the combustion chamber. Meanwhile, let's flip that up and let's go after this non-OEM hose here. You can see though where the catch can was butting up against this, and then also here too. Need to pop that out. Okay, then we'll drop the new one in. That was probably a waste of 18 bucks. It still fits pretty much the same, but at least I know I got an OEM hose there. All right, here's the new and improved routing of the Add W1 oil catch can, up and over, so anytime I want to empty it, all I have to do is unbolt that top bolt and lift up, so that'll be easier. And then the OEM hose maybe made a little bit of a difference as far as clearance. I think you can see before the can was actually butting up against the hose and pushing into it, so at least the hose has room now to circulate coolant. Unfortunately, the coolant reservoir, it just is what it is. It's going to get pinched a little bit here, but so be it. All right, if any of you guys remember my alignment I had with Pat Reynolds a while back, one thing he suggested was some spacers for up front. So that, because currently my tires are hitting the front sway bar. So what I did, I hit up GK Tech. I did have to pay for these obviously, but I got their 8mm for the front and 10mm just for fitment on the rear to make it look a little cooler. So these are 18 by 9.5 plus 18 wheels. So the fronts will be plus 10 and the rears will be plus 8 basically by the time these spacers are on. I don't remember the exact price, but it was about $100 for the two 10mm spacers and the two 8mm spacers. For the gram. These are hub centric, of course, if you cared. Uh-oh, I don't think my studs are long enough for this. All right, so I did a quick Google search and this is not gonna be enough thread on the studs to be safe, so I'm gonna pop all this off. I've never actually taken a stud off before. I don't think it's too involved. I'm gonna pop those off quick and then we'll see about getting some longer ones yet tonight. Okay, to get the studs out, you've got two 22mm bolts right here that'll undo the caliper. I've just got it bungee corded up there. And then once you got the caliper off, the rotor just pops off. And then you got to put a lug nut on your studs and then just hammer them. And then there's a little ledge or wedge right here. Once you get that loose, you pull the stud out through there. So I'm gonna run to AutoZone quick, see if I can get some longer studs for these spacers. So my trip to AutoZone was basically worthless. Turns out that studs are kind of factory specific. They don't carry extended factory studs at AutoZone, probably not O'Reilly's. So it sounds like something I'm gonna have to get online. I suppose I could make the hub pretty.
The next day.
All right guys, after researching this last night, I actually don't see any reason to go through with it, and here's why. Of course. So changing the studs up front is not that big of a deal, and they're about $2 for the extended ones by P2M at Concept Z Performance, which is local, so I can pick them up right now. So it'd be about $40, $45 in studs total. That's not my main issue. The main issue is what I would have to do in the rear to get them on. To get those studs on, you're gonna have to take the hub out, which is very involved. If you watch my dual caliper install, you'll see just how involved it is on getting that hub out. I don't feel like wasting that much time for an extra 8mm or 10mm of space, so I'm just gonna cancel this whole project. Sorry to disappoint, and put this all back together. All right, I got the Z back on the ground. All the lug nuts are tight and filled up with coolant, AKA distilled water. And I'm gonna run it over to Jordan's, try and get all the air out of the system and see how he's doing on those wheels because the wind has died down today. How we doing?
Hello, brother.
What a man gotta do? What's that stuff?
This is the top coat.
Top coat? Like the clear?
Clear, yeah. But I'm mixing it with the pearl.
Ooh, yeah.
Suzuka Blue, baby.
Suzuka Blue. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Picked up the smoke tail lights. That'll look good. Blacked out. Use a little bit of this pre-dip prep spray. So the backs of these things are just hook and loops, Velcro with 3M tape. They don't fit that well. It's almost like they're bigger than the hole, but whatever. Hopefully the Velcro holds. Before, after. Okay, we'll have to leave the wheels for now. They got a couple coats left. But this is what they're looking like so far, so they should be pretty cool when they're done. Alright, right, the last huge mod I'm gonna do on the car is I gotta get these louvers to shut up. So I got some weather stripping from Home Depot. Put this up here for you guys so you can see in case you have louvers and can't get them to quiet down either. So I'm gonna cut little 1-inch strips of this, set it right down the middle of each louver, and hopefully that fixes the issue. Here's what it looks like. And by the way, this isn't the first time I've tried to fix this. I used some door molding stripping before, but I think the heat has kind of like loosened that up or something and it started vibrating again. So these little weather stripping pieces have adhesive on the back. So hopefully there's enough cushion here to keep these quiet. Definitely not my best work, but I'll try anything at this point. Let's go test it out. So it's definitely better, but I can still hear it a little bit. So I'll probably end up putting those same strips on both the right and left side. It'll be kind of ugly from the inside of the car, but I'll take the hideousness over the disgusting rattle any day. We'll do an acceleration quick. That'll be the true test of how they sound now. It's 85% better. And with the windows down, it's 100% better. Alright guys, I think that will do it for today's video. Before we call it quits though, I wanted to go over some fitment stuff on the 350Z. Maybe you have one, maybe you're looking at getting one. Hopefully this will make it easier for you if you're looking at wheels and spacers. So I said it before, but my wheels are 18 by 9.5 plus 18 all the way around, all 4 wheels. Up front, I think it's perfect. If you're looking at getting wheels for your 350Z, I would say, 19s look sick. But offset wise, I would say conservative is 20, a plus 20 offset, and it's starting to get pretty aggressive at plus 10 up front. In the back, conservative, probably around plus 20, like I said, mine are plus 18. It's a good fit. I would like to see it out just a tiny bit more, but if I put it out much further, you're probably looking at rolling fenders then, and that's not something I want to do. So conservatively plus 20, and I think it looks really sick when you've got around plus 8 in the back, but you're for sure rolling fenders at that point if you're lowered. Now when it comes to spacers, I think you could probably get a plus 5 spacer on up front and back and still have enough thread to work with. But anything more than a plus 5 spacer, and you're gonna have to do extended studs. Nothing wrong with doing extended studs. It's actually it's a pretty easy job. Like I said, I didn't want to tear that all apart to do it. But if you're ever doing like a dual caliper setup in the back and it's gonna be off anyway, that would be the time, in my opinion, to put your extended studs on. And then the front you could do anytime. As far as tire size go, I'll leave that up to you. I'm running 235s all around just to keep my life simple. But in back, I'd say like a 265, 275, depending on your offset, is probably what I would run on the Z. I wouldn't want much bigger than that just because there's not a ton of power. With all that said though, I think that'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys found it useful, maybe entertaining. I appreciate you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one. Check out my editing skills. What up, dude?
What's up, G?
Nothing. Hey, you're on my YouTube right now. What do you want to say to the boys?
What's up, YouTube? Thanks so much for subscribing and liking to this video.